He's a good boy.
We're here. I'm just adjusting the camera so you guys can see us. I don't know, this angle isn't awesome, but that's okay. There we go. There we go. Peggy's just grabbing toast. I've got coffee. I'm going to open up the chat and make sure I can see everything. Oh, there we go. Control plus plus. Yay, we're live! And you can see me even better. I've even just made the chat really big. And hopefully...
Because you're blind.
You're blind too!
I admit it.
Peggy's like, because you're blind. Did you guys hear? She's being such a brat.
I'm an asshole.
We're going to be in fine form today, I'm quite sure. This was actually a really fun topic. It felt just slightly less heavy than some of our last ones, but there's still like a ton of stuff to unpack about ways we can... Oh, I need the poop emoji so we can look at the poop. For those of you who are like, what is she talking about? We put this little squishy poop on top of the camera so we can hopefully remember to actually look at you guys instead of over here at the chat all the time.
Out the window. Put
that on there like that. It's so cute, little poop. So every time I'm looking at the poop, I'm thinking of all of you. So, you know, take that as you will. Barb. So let's talk about self-care and self-compassion. There's a lot to unpack in there. I know it's there's a lot of stuff in there about how we were raised and what we learned and also what our actual family lives are like. Like, it kind of depends on who's around you and what sort of attention and stuff that they need from you all the time that really affects how much we're able to really prioritize ourselves. I just want to make sure I've got this stuff. Here we go. You are all poop heads. Yes. When I see poop, I think of you. That should be a Hallmark card. Look what you've done to me. And I was so proud of myself for saying pooping in my video too. But it's true. How many of y'all actually, if you live in households with other people, how many of you guys will like just take an extra long time in the bathroom just to have some extra quality me time? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Well, I'm looking at Peggy. She's standing over there with her. Oh, good Lord.
I take a video game in there with me.
Yeah, Peggy takes in her Nintendo 3DS.
I'll be back later, guys.
She comes back in half an hour. When my kids were young, they just come in. Oh, God, children and boundaries. That alone is probably an entire video.
They do.
Yeah, how do you have boundaries with kids when they're like, I want to, Mommy, are you pooping? I'm going to come hang out with you.
I get up to go to the bathroom, and I have two dogs, one with one nose at each calf, going, where are we going? What are we doing?
Yeah, the doggies like to come in the bathroom with me, I will admit. But that's a little different than children. I would be really uncomfortable if my children want... I missed the like little age when they do that. You know, they're old enough now where they really don't want to be in the room with us before pooping. I took a book with me, some rest. Wow. Yeah, it's like, I just need a break. This is why bathroom doors have locks. Why are you smacking yourself in the face? Oh, did you have crumbs on your face?
I have crumbs everywhere.
Peggy was like, doing this, and I'm like, what are you doing? It looked like she was just hitting herself in the face. Families that poop together, Barb. Yeah, right? Always a book, always something. Yeah, I love long bubble baths. My favorite thing to do is to take long bubble baths. In fact, a lot of my rituals that I plan involve a ritual bath, just so that I have that time to decompress before I do any sort of magical work, which I really, really appreciate and enjoy. Raquel, I need to start leaving my phone. My legs go numb. Okay, so the bad thing about the phone that will do that when you get sort of sucked into that world is like, who remembers when Candy Crush first came out? And what was the other one? Cookie Jam? Mm-hmm. Candy Crush and Cookie Jam were the worst for just getting sucked in. And next thing you know, it's been like an hour and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get myself a medical issue if I'm sitting here any longer. Yeah, I tend to go for books these days and I give myself like a section. Like, I'm going to read just to this page and then I'm done. Because otherwise, yeah, I'll get like lost. I'll lose time and stuff. But one of your cats always uses the litter box when I get ready for work. I'm sure she does it on purpose. Yeah, right? Jen's Balanced Tarot says, I made myself uninstall those. Yeah, Simon, Farmville was oh my God. I still remember I was working this corporate job and like all of my coworkers were like, hey, what crops do you have right now? And like, we were just, it was like constant discussion and it was really bad for productivity.
For a year.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Everybody was sucked in. Yeah, Farmville was so addicting. and the other one, there was a cooking one too that was really.
I didn't like that one.
You liked it for a while. You got really sucked
for like 5 minutes. Oh, no.
Not restaurant. What, do you know what I'm talking about?
It was Farmville style.
You still have. There we go. Got it.
I think I have glitter on my face too. From
Peggy has glitter from sewing the glittery fabric. Pet Society. Pet Society was good too.
Yeah, there was a bunch.
Let's make sure you're in frame because you're probably not.
I'm probably not.
Peggy doesn't like to look at it. She's like, "You've got girl cooties." Yeah, we're fine.
You do have girl cooties.
You have
girl
butch cooties. Don't we talk about this every single time we go live? Yeah.
But now I've got you talking about Poop Cafe World. And then
Cafe World, yes! Oh my god, that one was so good. And then they made it really hard unless you were buying all the freaking expensive ingredients.
They all did. They all went to a pay-to-win model.
When you get to a certain level. And then I just get annoyed.
Oh, Mr. Puppy, how you doing?
So, real quick before we dive into deeper topics, I hit 1,000.
You did.
I'm so excited. So, we're planning like an epic giveaway.
Congratulations!
I just caught my hands like I was 4. Did you see that?
Oh, what did Al do this time? Rip Roger.
Okay, Roger. What happened? Who's Roger?
Al's starting shit again. Just don't worry about it.
Okay, so two things you guys need to know. We're going to have a multi-winner giveaway coming up really soon. We've got it all sorted. Peggy's still making one or two things. One or two things for it. Over there. I've got her honey-do list written right up because I know what things I'm contributing, and then she knows what things. Well, because I told her what things she's contributing.
She said, "I want a thing that looks like this," and I'm
we collaborated on all of it. I'm making it sound like I totally bossed, but I did a little bit.
Mostly. Yeah, mostly.
But it's really fun. And the other thing you guys need to know is that Peggy's going to have a shop. Peggy's going to have a shop sale to celebrate.
Okay, yeah, I'll be starting a sale probably start up next weekend.
Yeah, so we just wanted to give you guys the heads up, especially if you have your eyes on things, because you don't want anyone feeling ripped off. But well, it's true. Is there a better way to say that? Probably.
If you can, unless it's something
it's coming soon. Yeah, if you want to grab something before somebody else does, obviously that's different. But I'm
gonna have a sale starting next week.
Yeah, and there is going to be some new things going up on the shop as well. So, Christy, which one?
Send us a message. If I've got the material, make a new bag. It's fine.
It's true.
I don't always have the material.
We actually expanded her sewing area slightly, so.
Oh my god! I've got like half the living room now. It's great.
She's been so productive this week. She's got. It's intense over there.
It's bad.
She has both sewing machines out. She's got the one with the embroidery out. She's got the other one out. So she's like embroidering and sewing at the same time. It's like it's something out of Crazy Town.
It's totally Crazy Town. Anybody who was on my Facebook page, which is public, saw the Firebird.
The Firebird that you just did, yeah.
Yeah, that was going on.
She's got a ton of new designs she's playing with. It's
black and gray filigree. I think I have more of that fabric. I'll take it.
Yeah, if you can, yeah.
Message me later, and I'll see if I've got it.
I have been really, really, really nudging Peggy because we had a lot of you had picked up a whole bunch of brightly colored fabrics, and recently I was like, we need ones for those older decks and that sort of more.
I've got it.
So I've been pushing her to get more of that fabric. Does Peggy have drums at her feet too?
Huh?
Are you tapping the floor with your foot?
Would I do a thing like that?
Are you guys hearing thumpy thumpy? Peggy is like a foot wiggler. Sometimes I'll be sitting. Hi, Molly. Sometimes I'll be sitting across the room and she'll have her foot on the floor and she'll be bouncing her knee and I can feel it and I'm like, stop it right now. So annoying. The bird was amazing. Dark Mansion was OMG. It was actually Bunny Kisses Christine who wanted the spider web with the Dark Mansion, so she had asked for a custom. But once the design was done, it was like, hey, this is cool. So that worked out well.
The Dark Mansion one. The Dark Mansion one is not going on the shop, but if anybody wants one, I've got some brown left, and I can make another one.
Yeah, so those are the things we wanted you to know. Multi-winner giveaway coming soon, so watch for that. As soon as everything's made, then we'll do a video. And sale coming soon on the shop. My Etsy shop's also got a sale going on.
So basically, we're going to talk about your boundaries, and now that I've got this coming up, I don't have any for a week while I make stuff.
Yeah, Peggy gets no boundaries. She just has to make shit for us, right?
It's a sweatshop.
But it's good shit. It's not a sweatshop.
If it was a sweatshop,
I've actually been really good.
This is my idea of a good time.
I've been putting my naked decks in a drawer and being ever so patient.
Oh, you lie!
I haven't pillaged any of your stuff lately. The other thing, keep making all the shit.
Pretty much.
It's good shit.
It's good shit.
The other thing I wanted to do really quickly is just quickly summarize what we talked about in the
My eyes are
It's okay. Just sit there and look pretty. It's fine. Just keep squinting. That really helps.
I'm not trying to squint.
So quick summary of what we just chatted about in the premiere was...
Oh, Bruno's shedding. That's why.
So you're going to rub your face with the dog hair covered t-shirt? Smart.
I just rubbed my face with my dog hair covered hand and had to get it out.
Okay, so quick summary on self...
I think so.
Everyone is allowed boundaries except Peggy, yeah. We need bags of whip. Okay, anyways. So we're going to quickly summarize what I covered in the premiere so that everybody's on the same page in case you missed it. So we talked about self-compassion and self-care. In a nutshell, self-compassion is the compassion you show other people. You just direct it at yourself. So any way you define compassion, direct it at yourself. Self-care is the tangible actions you take to nurture and care for yourself. So as I mentioned in the video, for some of us, that's literally getting up in the morning, taking a shower and brushing your teeth, if that's where you're at right now. And for some people, it's the extra stuff you do. So making time for yourself, taking time to read or journal or bubble bath or taking yourself to a movie. We're going to brainstorm a whole bunch of ideas. Ow, bad girl. Hey, anyways, stop looking at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Stop looking at me. Anyway,
I wonder why my neck hurts.
Oh, because I'm probably I manipulate.
It's okay.
You're just like my personal butch doll that I get to manipulate any way I want. See, I just
no, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. So now you're red.
A little bit, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it's you. You just reflecting.
I'm reflecting. Look at the poop. Oh, thank you.
Remember the poop. Poop.
It's true. I keep looking at the comments.
Talk to the magical poop.
You do have to look at. So for anybody, if you don't know what Ella's talking about because you just joined us, we keep a little squishy poop.
So we have something. So that because we keep
your hand is totally for the. We do that so that we have something to look at. So we hopefully remember not to just stare. There's a
picture when we either stare at the comment or look out the picture window.
Boop. Thanks for the reminder.
Bruno's over here going, you guys are freaking me out.
Barb says, Peggy, look at the poop.
I did. I looked at the poop.
Don't look at it like a crazy person. Like, just look at it for real.
Yeah, look into my poop eyes.
It's a good thing that we hide the preview
of
ourselves.
So we
because otherwise we would
basically every now and again, almost every single troll we've gotten is coming in poop, fart, poop, poop.
And Peggy's always like, maybe that's just somebody who likes that I talk about farting and pooping. And I'm like, no, that's a troll.
Except for we're talking about farting and pooping.
I know, it's true.
We're trolling our own chat. Because I guess this is our chat now.
Look,
we're troll.
Is that what we're gonna name her? We're gonna name her Boop. I think
Boop
Boop's a cute name. We're gonna call her Boop the Poop. She smells like grape, by the way, like grape bubble gum or grape candy. Because it's a squishy. You guys know what squishies are?
Okay, that's just really creepy.
It does. I've talked about it in the favorites video even because it was my favorite after December because we got it at Christmas. I'm actually drooling. I'm getting so.
Oh my god, grape flavored poop. So hungry.
I'm mad because I'm laughing.
You started drooling.
Because I'm laughing. Not because I want to eat
a recruiting troll that hasn't been caught. Pretty much, Elle. Well, we need one. We all need our one pet troll, and I guess you're it.
Elle's everybody's pet troll. We love you though.
Claim to fame.
So that's self-care. What is our couple name? Pisa, Leggy. Oh, somebody came up with
Liggy.
One. Was it Liggy? Yeah, it was Liggy.
Apparently it's Liggy.
Somebody named us Liggy.
Okay, so self-care.
And self-compassion.
And self-compassion.
And self-care.
And self-care.
And self-compassion.
Wow, we're just like full of bright ideas today. First we're going to talk about poop, and then we're going to just lose our train of thought when it comes to the actual topic.
Honored, Elsa. Did you actually pay attention to the topic? Peggy's funny.
Did I actually?
Because she's in the chat chatting with you guys, and I look at her, and she's got this like giggle or grin on her face, and I'm like, are you even listening to the topic? Or are you just like playing with everybody in chat?
Am. I'm doing, boop the poop.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Oh, my God, El Liggy Poo. Do not let that hashtag take off.
Oh, God, no. No. Okay, so self-care. It's kind of funny though because some of the stuff that you're listing off, and I'm not the type of person. I don't like. I have I have a soak in the tub for my knee, but I don't think of it as a relaxing. I don't hop in the tub to like relax with a book the way you do. I don't journal. Basically, when they say, "Oh, you should engage in self-care," it's kind of interesting that the list of things that people recommend are actually for you. It's a great list of things to do. But for somebody like me, it's a bad. It's like
self-care is super personal. Like your self-care is like binging out on a video game or like
even throwing something. My like right now, my self-care is don't bother me while I'm gonna mess around and embroider something new.
Yeah, and you just get your me time and you turn on your music and you...
Yeah, turn on the music. Yesterday, my self-care was I took myself to McDonald's for lunch. Because I never do, and it's not because
it's a treat, right?
It's because I never, if I'm going to eat out, if I'm going, whether it's a drive-through or going to a nice restaurant, it's not something I do by myself. So zipping over and getting myself a burger and stuff, that was for me. It was like I just want to do something nice for me right now.
Yeah, and Molly makes a good point. She says self-care is taking care of our needs too. That's what I meant earlier about like for some people, just getting up and taking a shower is a huge act of self-care. So soaking your knee is also self-care, which is true. Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, Barb, don't encourage her.
Oh, thanks, Barb. Look, we already have only one troll.
Licky poo. Now Elsa, she's never gonna let it die now because I said don't let that continue. So now it's like her mission in life.
It's kind of funny though because like soaking. Okay, soaking my knee is definitely self-care, but that's like the physical, tangible self-care that I need for health reasons versus the emotional self-care. I'm having a bad day and I need to just do something for me, self-care, because self-care is
Tina, I'm sorry.
I'm doing this again. It's like,
you gotta look at the poop.
Look at the poop. But it's interesting.
She also looks out the window. You also, it's not just
it's not so bad. It's not,
big
we rearranged the living room a little bit to make room for my sewing stuff. And oh my God, my shit's everywhere now.
But it's more organized.
I have we doubled the size of my sewing area. So I've got room for all the things. I see you, puppy. It's okay.
I think the thing to remember about self-care
can be very, very obvious. Go soak your knee, your leg hurts. And that's one type of self-care. Self-care can be I never just go buy McDonald's for just me, so I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go do that because I have the right to do that. And off I go. And it's like because different people because self-care creates a sense of empowerment.
Absolutely. Well, it also creates that cup full feeling. You're filled up with your needs being met, and then your wants being met.
Yeah, sorry, my eyes are watering.
And Molly
really
says,
bad
Molly says, I think it's all connected, Peggy. When your survival needs are met, you have room to meet other needs, like emotional needs.
Yeah.
And Simon says self-care can be anything from preparing a nice meal, an early night, treating yourself, or doing something for others.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I'm sorry. There's no but that. Those are absolutely valid. But for the person who hates to cook.
Yeah, it's all individual. At Peggy's point. Everything's personal and individual.
Yeah.
Hi, Erica.
You were there, and this is a really good example. And I forget who it was. This was somebody that we were chatting with, and they said, "Oh, I'm having a really bad day." And these are like, "Oh, well," and we were like, "Oh, let's go do this, let's go do that." Here's something, and it was one of those conversations, and there was nothing wrong with the conversation. Nobody was trying too hard. But every single thing that we suggested turned out to be something that this person didn't like or didn't do. Mm-hmm. And they were going, yeah, I really don't know what to do because none of that stuff even appeals to me.
Like the first place my brain goes always is bubble bath because that is probably my #1 favorite thing.
Yeah.
And so I'll mention that like to my sister, for example. I'll say, hey, Jen, what about a bubble bath or whatever? And she'll be like, she doesn't like baths. She's never been a bath person.
Okay, your go-to is have a bath. Okay, we're going to pick on Jen. Your go-to
We're gonna pick on. She's not here to defend herself.
Oh, I thought she was.
Well, she's listening. She's working.
Oh, okay. But your go-to is, I'm going to have a bubble bath or journal or do this or do that. And those are things that don't necessarily always appeal to Jen. My go-to, don't worry, it's nothing bad. I just pick a person.
Ears perked.
My go-to is cooking, baking bread or stuff like that.
Oh my God, that is not self-care for me.
Well, and it's not so, but this is the thing. Like that's why I picked Jen because it's not so. So the things that appeal to you aren't always self-care for Jen. The things that appeal to me aren't always self-care for Jen. Like I said, it's a really obvious example because Jen comes up for business like, oh, cooking sounds like fun, and Jen's like, okay. Sorry, I know you like to cook, but you always have, but it's really, really specific for you. Yeah. Whereas jumping into the cupboards and going, oh, I think I got some shit that might taste good is not appealing to you.
No.
It's my idea of a good time, though.
Elle says, for me at the moment, survival needs are all I can muster. Sometimes I can't even manage that. So the whole Instagrammable self-care idealism of self-care is daunting.
Yeah.
And that's what I tried to address in the video because I see that a lot. We don't realize that self-care sometimes is literally getting out of bed or getting dressed.
Oh, yeah.
If you're dealing with any kind of mental health stress or just regular stress, or you're sick, or you're not well, or you're dealing with chronic pain, all of these things can make social media totally.
Well, I went through a stage of that when we first made the decision that I was not going to work a day job anymore. I I was like, great, I'm going to live in my pajamas and stuff like that. And then I realized that I was like, this is great. And then of course you can't run the dogs out in your t-shirt and underwear. And I was actually starting to resent that a little bit.
You can, but people
no. But I was actually starting to resent that a little bit. And it's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, it's like, this is stupid. It's not anybody's fault. And if I just go ahead and get dressed in the morning, the rest of my day is so much easier because then I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm going to go get dressed now.
Right. So putting real clothes on becomes self-care because you're making your day easier.
I'm making my day make more sense because as much as it's really, really appealing to hang out in your underwear for the day, because that's really, really appealing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, so sometimes self-care is giving, and this is going to sound weird, but sometimes self-care is not doing something. Like on the weekends, we were taking turns for the longest time. On the weekends, we were kind of taking turns. Well, you take the dogs out because I don't want to get dressed this morning. Oh, okay. And then the next day, it's like, okay, well, you take the dogs out because I don't want to get dressed this morning. And it gets really, really, the reason why I'm sounding confusing is because it gets very confused very quickly because certain things that feel like self-care, if your situation doesn't allow for it, suddenly start feeling like a point of stress.
Mm-hmm.
Something as simple as getting up and getting dressed in the morning felt like a point of stress for me because I didn't really want to. But I had the dogs to deal with, so it's like I'm going to start getting dressed as soon as I get up because then I'm going to have to give up on that one.
Kat says keeping yourself
doesn't allow for it.
Kat says keeping yourself operational is totally self-care. Remember the highlight reel thing regarding social media.
Yes.
And Molly,
yes.
And Molly says self-care can be taking your meds, truth, showering, truth, eating.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Choosing not to answer a phone call or email from someone who disrespects your boundaries. All of these things are excellent examples of self-care. When we're thinking about brainstorming some self-care activities, what I find helpful about that as a challenge or as an activity is making a list of things you can do that are personal to you, that feel nurturing to you, that you can reach for when you're having a bad day and you just don't want to have to think of something to do. If you create a list for yourself, and that's one of the reasons I created that as the weekly challenge, if you create a list for yourself of things that make sense to you, that are useful to you, then when you're having those rough days or when you're feeling depleted, you can literally just pick something off the list. And that's why it's important to have about half of them be free.
But see, I don't make lists.
Well, you might not.
But that making a list would.
Well, then you wouldn't do the challenge. You'll not join.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I can definitely make a list. That's a very interesting exercise for me, and I can definitely make a list. But it's like,
but she doesn't want to.
I would not refer to it.
Oh, you would? Yeah, no, that's fair.
This is because it. And this is the thing. The trick is figuring out what does self-care mean to you, and creating this scale either on paper or in your head of what's the most attainable to the least attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, make sure some of them are free. Pardon me. So for me, self-care is if I want a tea in the evening, it's like, hey, honey, can you make me a cup of tea? Mm-hmm. Not being afraid to ask you to make me a cup of tea is self-care.
Well, technically, self-care is making your own goddamn tea.
That's your self-care.
The idea is to actually have a practice of taking care of yourself. Not just, and you're right, it is still self-care to ask for help. Okay. I'm sorry.
It's not about asking for help. It's just self-care is saying,
look at the poop.
No, self-care is saying, of course, she's my wife. Of course, I can ask her to make me a cup of tea. And as long as I can handle the word no, then it's not a problem.
No, I know.
So
I guess you're patting me. Why are you patting me?
Because.
Don't lick me either. Things we say on live. Stop it. Oh my God, you guys, you should see
I'm disappearing.
After we do these live chats, usually within a day or two, Peggy is sitting on your wants are showing, it's true. When Peggy is a day or so after, sometimes even less, after these live chats, Peggy is over on the couch with her headphones in, watching back the live chat and laughing her ass off.
Oh my God, yeah, it's just really funny.
It's different because we miss so much when we're in it.
Yeah, it's a different perspective to watch it versus being in it. Yeah, so sometimes I watch them back.
But it's so funny because the one time I was doing videos, I think I was filming my tarot collection videos or something, and I was over here. We've changed things around.
I'm just like giggling in the background.
I used to have my reading table right here, and now it's back in the bedroom, but I would have my reading table, so I was doing my top-down filming of the tarot collection, and Peggy was over there with her headphones, and I'm filming, and she's not even realizing she's giggling out loud, and every once in a while we just hear it, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah, see, now Acorn, yeah, for some people, self-care is doing things for others, and that's how it works for them. If that doesn't work for you, then you need a different toolkit. And this is the problem that we have, because somebody says, oh, you should do this for your self-care, because generally speaking, it generally works. But it's no one self-care idea is going to work for everybody, ever.
Hi, Dustin.
Oh, hi, everybody who came in. I'm like sitting there without my glasses on trying to stare.
I took them off your head even.
Yep.
And one other thing I want to say about what Acorn Cup says, he said, I'm a career 24/7, 365. Sometimes I start to really resent having to do things for others. So for Simon, self-care, doing something nice for others can feel really nurturing for himself. So if doing something else for others makes you feel like you're taking care of yourself, then it's self-care. If doing things for others is like, I do that all the freaking time, I need to just do for me. And that, honestly, that's what my self-care looks like. My self-care is extremely me-focused, and that's really healthy for me because I have, my default is to be all too concerned about what everybody else wants and needs. And sometimes I just want to step off and just pay attention just to me. So,
well, and this is,
last night that looked like I went to bed an hour early just so I could hang out on my reading table, do an exercise with my tarot cards, and just do some stuff just for me in a quiet space.
Yeah, you have to enjoy yourself when you spend time with yourself. Oh my God, I can't even read today.
And that's something I mentioned, but for some of us, that's actually super uncomfortable. If you're not used to spending time with yourself by yourself, it can actually be not very self-care feeling to have that full-on alone time. It might actually feel like too much. It might be too overwhelming. So everything's so personal.
Well, that's the personalization thing. And the thing is that we tend to fall back on certain stereotypes. It's like, oh, you'll feel really good if you do blah. And again, stereotypes exist for a reason. You will feel good if you do blah, because for most people that's true. But if you were to make a list of every single thing that's considered self-care, nobody is going to check off every single one of them as being
exactly. And if you guys want some basic ideas to start with, we can brainstorm here too. But in the premiere video that I just aired, in the description box of that video, I actually have an article that has 200 plus ideas for self-care. So if you just wanted to just sit down on your own time and think of some things that might feel good for you, you could literally cherry pick off of that list, or cherry pick out of this discussion and go, well, that sounds really nice. I would have never thought of that. Peggy mentioned while we were getting ready to set up the live, buying yourself flowers. If you have the funds,
but if you're desperately allergic to flowers, it's not for you. It's like,
or if you hate flowers, we don't have to we don't, we get that it's individual. I just mean we can actually start to chat about some ideas that do sound nice for different people, so that we can kind of think about that. Marge mentioned self-care is putting a straw in the cola can so I don't guzzle the whole thing. Totally. Yeah, sometimes it's savoring something.
Yeah, slowing yourself down. What was it? Stop and smell the roses. Like sometimes,
stop fidgeting.
And but we also put this value on tangible results.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I just had a shower this morning. There's no point in having a bath tonight. I'm already still clean. Blah 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 blah. It's like, that's not the point.
Here's another idea. Self-care, putting away something so you can find it later. Self-care sometimes is doing spring cleaning in your home. Or reorganizing your space. We did that last weekend. We reorganized a bunch of things about our space. It's a little cluttery behind us because there's still some things to be dealt with. But we expanded Peggy's sewing area. That's a type of self-care. Now she can get to everything she wants and needs more efficiently. Mm-hmm. We reorganized so that I have more space and privacy for when I'm doing readings for clients in the bedroom. So, and
again, it's back to the same thing. Self-care looks different for everybody. You can list examples, but
that's what we're trying to do, is list examples.
Yeah.
So we don't want to necessarily discourage you guys from talking about ideas just because it might not work for somebody. The idea is that the more ideas we throw out there, the more ideas people will get about what might work for them. So I'm all about everybody sharing in the chat your favorite, what you think are good ideas for self-care for sure. Elle says, caring for others makes me feel 100 times better than self-care just for me. I wonder why. Oh, let's talk about that. But I rarely have that extra energy to extend as I'm caring for my dad 24/7. Here's the thing. The reason that it feels uncomfortable often to do stuff for ourselves is because when we are doers, when we are givers, and not, like, as we talked about with accepting love, right? If it's, for some of us, it can be really uncomfortable to turn any attention onto ourselves. And that's something that we're unpacking through this self-worth stuff.
Yeah.
If you're uncomfortable in your own company, sometimes there's stuff there that you haven't really looked at.
But self-care is about doing things that make you personally feel good. So for some people, the first step, if doing something that makes you personally feels good, doesn't always have to. It's hard to put the right words to it.
Exactly, color.
If doing things for others makes you feel 100 times better, then that is still self-care because you feel better. And then that puts you, so it's still a form of doing things for other people. Doing things for other people is still a form of self-care, because as long as it makes you feel good, then it opens you up emotionally for doing more of the things that you need to bring those improvements into your life, bring those to feel good in other ways in your life. You can't just simply say, I'm going to stop doing this because it's not for me, just me and only me, because not everybody's wired that way.
But we've kind of been repeating that point a lot. And I think we're getting it, that it's a very individual thing. If it feels good to you, it's self-care and it counts, basically, is the thing at the end of the day. Kay says, I'm spring cleaning and it's self-care because it makes me feel happy and gives me a sense of completion. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Kat says self-care can be can be sorting out a better mortgage deal so you free up some cash, or keeping the home environment welcoming, even if that doesn't sound fun as such. Exactly.
Because there's a word. Yeah.
That's right.
Some acts of self-care have only the emotional reward, and that is it. And other acts of self-care have the physical, tangible reward.
Or have some kind of long-term benefit that's going to make you feel better over time. New Age Newbie. Is it Tina again? I keep forgetting. Most days I've been burning an incense, making coffee, and doing a card pull before the kids wake up. One of the things I mentioned in the video, I don't know if you caught it, was the idea of creating some small little ritual that you can incorporate into your lifestyle that makes you feel nurtured. Maybe that ritual for you is calling a friend and having that social contact. Maybe the ritual for you is quiet time for a card pull before bed or in the morning. Sometimes it can, like I used to do specifically an oracle card draw right before bed. Now I work with my study deck usually, or my mom's tarot right before bed. I just pull a little card, think about it, think about what's going to help me kind of ease into a nice night's sleep. There's all kinds of different things you can do.
Well, like what Blackbird said, when you're going through a tough time, do you think self-care should change? Or does the consistency of self-care help you go through the tough times?
Yes. As in yes to both.
Yeah, it's self-care is, we read articles, we see books, we find tangible examples that other people are offering and think that we have to pick from that list.
Stop!
Hamster fart.
Oh, Jesus. You are something else.
You said poop earlier.
And Elle, I totally understand what you're getting at. Yes, a lot of times we feel valid and we feel worthy when we're doing and focusing on other people. It is a practice. Thank you. It is a practice. Thank you, guys. Oh, my God. The thing is... God damn it.
Hamster farts.
Stop calling... Okay, anyways.
Hamster farts. Hamster.
Anyway, stop looking at why
I didn't.
You were about to.
And notice how you put it in my hair.
Yep. If you're gonna lick me, I'm gonna wipe it on your face. This is how it's gonna go.
That's kind of how it's supposed to go.
Okay. Anyway, stop. Holy crap! I was saying something that was relevant. Oh yeah, that's what it is about Elle. Okay, sorry. Back to Elle for a moment.
Back to Elle.
The thing is that for a lot of us, one of the things that's going to come up in every single Self-Worth Saturday topic, every single one, is we're going to go, oh, I don't think about me, my needs, what I want, what makes me feel good, because I've only learned how to feel good by making other people feel good. Now, that doesn't mean it's not valid to make other people feel good as a part of self-care, but it is about being mindful. And that's one of the things I talked about in the video. Whatever you choose to do for self-care is completely fine. Just make sure that you check in with yourself. Am I doing this because this fills me up? And check in. And if the answer is yes, it doesn't matter what the activity is, go for it. And if the answer is no, then you might still decide to do it anyways, but at least have that discussion with yourself or that moment with yourself to be aware of what's happening. Part of my self-care is times chatting with friends like Lisa. Oh, Erica.
Well, I think now, unless I'm mistaken, and I know Elle will tell me if I'm wrong, being a 24/7 carer for a father, having an opportunity to do something nice for somebody else who's not her father is where the 100 times feeling better comes in, because it's connecting with other people and other people's needs and other people, just diverting that energy away from a single source.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, if you're doing something nice for somebody else because you're so focused on one person, it's like, okay, I'm focused on my dad all the time. Yeah, so I'm gonna focus on this friend. That makes perfect sense. Okay.
I have a really good example.
She's really excited. She's like,
no.
I love to look at the poop. I love
Okay, I love cooking. So if you were to come to my house, there would probably be 4,000 pounds of food. Because
True.
I don't.
She gets so excited to cook for other people.
I love to cook for other people. So that's where that starts with.
But we're drudgery.
No, but I like to cook. I like to cook for you guys. I love to cook for other people. But we've had situations where we've had situations where people who we had one particular person who just basically started showing up at mealtime expecting to be fed, and that felt different. That wasn't just, there was no mutual appreciation. I appreciate being able to feed something.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
like
it sounds like somebody comes over. Hey, what's for dinner? Is a lot different than somebody comes over and you offer them. Offer them food.
So we had one particular person that started going, "Hey, what's for dinner? Hey, what's for dinner? Hey, what's for dinner?" It's like, whoa. I like cooking for people, but I'm not obligated to cook for you.
Yeah. So like, back up,
chuckle fuck. She heard the term chuckle fuck.
I can't get it out
as some reference to something that our child told her.
It was
buckle up, chuckle fuck. And she has been sticking that into everything lately. She broke herself. She's fine. So anyway, but here's the thing. So I'm pretty consciously aware of this.
It was a friend of ours, a former friend of our son's, who was a little bit, a little bit take advantage of me, but he was young.
But the thing is it's like I also had one person. This was years ago.
Christy. I'm sorry, I can't be on topic right.
Steven is in the other room.
That phrase in right.
Steven is in the other room giggling because guess who she got the word from?
Oh my god.
Buckle up, chuckle fuck.
It's even better when you say it slow.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys.
She's laughing so much she's crying. So anyway, okay. So then the opposite thing. Okay, if you come to dinner, I'll totally steal it. So anyway,
I can hear Steven laughing. I just laughed so hard.
She's crying. You're laughing.
It's just, I don't know what it is, but it's so funny. Okay, I'm good. I'm probably super red. Can you
Oh.
No, I'm good.
I have to embroider that onto something.
At the same time as you. And it needs to have a seatbelt icon. A seatbelt. A seatbelt, and it says buckle up.
Oh my god. You guys do realize that last time I made a fart bag, they were like gone in minutes. I think I still have a poop emoji bag.
Oh my god, patented.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, you guys. I know. I can't.
Oh, you know what I'll do is I'll make it into like a little doily type thing that we can just drape over the back of the couch here, and it'll say "Buckle up, chuckle fuck." Welcome to Lisa's channel.
I don't even know how this happens. Chuckleface is your clown name. Oh, a reading cloth with a broken Lisa on the front. Oh my god. I get the giggles and it's just over. I can't even function.
Okay, but the term is buckle up, chuckle fuck. And you made it about something else.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I said, yeah, because you said somebody
You don't even remember, do you? This is why I watch this shit back.
Back up, chuckle fuck.
Back up, chuckle fuck. Yeah, she will put that into everything.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, you guys, for all the F-bombs. I'm sorry, this is not child-friendly, apparently. Oh my god. If you put a rainbow unicorn on that phrase...
Self-care is buckling up.
If you put a unicorn rainbow on that bag with that phrase, I'll buy it for my Rebel Oracle deck. Oh my god, that would be so perfect for the Rebel deck. Oh my god, I want it on a t-shirt.
I'm practicing t-shirts now, just for fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I think it's just gonna be friends and family only because they're a bit of a process. But
yeah, that would be a good one. I don't even remember the top. I'm sorry, you guys. I totally distracted. You were telling an actual story and everything. I'm sorry. I never knew I needed that, but I do. It's so true.
Okay.
I'm gonna chip my tooth on my coffee mug because I keep laughing and then trying to take it. Give it back. What are you doing?
Oh, look, now that you've settled down, that was really quick.
Don't mess with my caffeine.
Okay. I was talking about how I like to cook.
Oh, yes.
But I had two specific examples. Okay, so the one is somebody who suddenly decided that meant he could show up for dinner every day, and that would be lovely. And even that was kind of like, until the one day he's like basically bitched me out for not cooking enough for him. But anyway, and the other person, another person, basically when I cook, there's, because leftovers reheat. Just keep this in mind.
Sorry,
so I like to do, if I'm having company, I'll cook a large meal, because if you walk away hungry, I want that to be your choice, not mine. And that's fine. And somebody just looked me right in the eyes and said, wow, you're quite the feeder, aren't you? And I was kind of like, I didn't even respond to the person, but they never came back because they were never invited back again. It's like,
no. Oh my gosh, Tina, sorry, back off topic.
Are we back to it again?
A t-shirt with Lisa's new logo and poop emoji wearing a seatbelt. That sounds amazing. We know what the Supportive Tarot merch is going to look like someday, right, guys?
Right.
Oh my God, I just said merch in a sense. How pretentiously YouTube do I sound now?
Incredibly pretentiously,
right?
Chuckle fucking YouTube.
It's that, once you're over 1,000, then anything goes.
Oh, is this what's got you motivated today? I'm special. I'm a big YouTuber now.
I feel so special. It's true.
Okay.
I know, it's fine.
No.
Big fish, little pond.
Little fish, big. YouTube's a pretty big fucking
YouTube
pond.
is ridiculously insane. Oh my God, I'm just having moments here. I'll shut up now.
It's like, don't worry, you're as important as the guy with the million subscribers. It's okay.
Everybody is just, this is actually, okay, wait, that actually reminded me of a really cool self-worth statement I heard that has stuck with me for forever. You are no less and no more important than anybody else on the entire planet. No less and no more.
I am the most important person to me.
Don't fuck up my phrase.
Oh,
you are
buckle up, Chuckle.
No more and no less important than anybody else on the planet, or valuable or worthy than anybody else on the planet. Good job, Kay. I don't know. Jens, I can't wait to watch this back later. Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's bad.
The reason that statement actually helps me with self-worth is because when you think about that really thoughtfully for a second. Don't be a jerk. I can see it in your face. She's got the wheels turning. She's going to be a jerk. But if you think about it, think about somebody you really, really admire. Think about Bill Gates or anybody. It doesn't matter. I just randomly pulled the name out. But if you think about somebody you really, really admire and then actually say that to yourself, I am no more nor less valuable or worthy than this person. You kind of take a step back and you're like, oh, did you just burp?
I did.
Jesus.
It literally fell out. It was bad.
It fell out?
It fell out.
Well,
honey, if I'm
fell out
doing
up here and not down there.
If I'm doing it on purpose, I
know. Thank you. You don't need to prove it. I understand. I know.
Okay.
I live with you.
Fell out. Yeah.
Okay, it fell out. Everybody let her just woof. And her wheels are turning. No. Thanks, Elle. She was referring to her. Are you done now? Stop! Oh, stop! I think I just punched you in the chin. Are you okay? Violence on my channel, too, is apparently a thing. Pretend violence, right? Pretend violence.
Ow.
This is why these chats are never very productive. I think that's going to be a new quote on my bathroom mirror. I thought she was going to say about being no more or less important than anybody else. Nope, it's buckle up, Chuckle. It's going to be a heck of a day. I
know. Did you see that? You see how you guys saw that? You guys are all going to be subpoenaed to court now.
Oh my God. Oh, Ricker goes direct and you all get crazy. It's
yeah. It's bad. Yeah, we're crazy.
Whew. I just gave a really good tip.
I don't think you should be touching me near my face.
Oh my God. Let's get some light. I want light.
Backlight.
Is it backlight though?
I don't know. You're looking at only chat. Anyway.
At only chat. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, but you know what? Just for self-care, there's a few people that have commented since we started this series.
Tina? Oh my God. I just drilled a little because she's surprised me. My closet, Dom.
Fuck no.
Okay, now that we've cleared that up.
Oh, no.
Peggy, next time you burp, just say, excuse me, from down in my heart. If that came out the other side of it would have been a fart.
Yeah.
This is
Peggy, you need to work for. She actually just.
Okay, oh my God.
She actually just flicked my chin. She didn't actually hit me, so it was probably just a. But that's okay. We'll delete that part just in case this goes to court.
We'll trim it out.
Yeah, why are you putting your hand back there?
Oh my god! I'm gonna put it back here, then we can get the back of your neck.
I dare you, if you will, I will.
I will if you will. What?
Start the meeting with buckle up, chuckle fuck.
No! What? I'm trying my next one.
Great, and then next week's video is going to be about
God.
how to find new jobs for all you people.
I want to know. Okay, please report back if either of you do that. I really want to know and what the results were. You tell it. Yeah.
So how do you know?
To get you out of hell. Oh my god.
I'll be fine. It's okay.
Stop. This is gonna be one of those chats like the whole thing.
She's like, this is going to be as if it isn't already. As if it isn't already, and you started it, chuckle fuck.
Okay, look. Hold on. We're all broke. Oh god, but it's so good for. Isn't there like a
Wednesday morning's team meeting?
Oh my god, I want to know. Please, blink twice. I know.
And my eyes are watering. Like.
Blinking. Oh my
Please
god.
stop leaking. When my sinuses are bothering me. Okay, guys. When my sinuses are bothering me, my eyes can water so bad that it looks like I'm crying, and my eyes are bugging me, and I'm laughing. So I've got literal tears running.
Neither one of us can actually even talk.
I'm doing okay.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so entertaining watching Peggy watch this back later.
Oh, okay, you can't tell me you're not gonna watch it.
This has gone all kinds of downhill, and I don't know how to bring it back.
But these guys are all engaging in self-care, mutual self-care, and I'll be safe now.
I cannot. Oh my god! It's a good thing I can't see myself on the screen because I'm probably purple right now.
Self-Peggy care is a must. See?
You are such an instigator, Elle. Oh my god!
Elle didn't hit me.
Stop perpetuating this fake news! Stop it! Okay, we got this. We got this.
Oh, hi, Puffy. What you doing? You coming over here?
Oh.
Shayla does not like.
Oh boy. I agree with everybody in the chat right now.
Shayla does not like loud, sharp noises, so all this howling and stuff got her going like, I need to make sure you guys are okay and stop.
So she's
okay, wait. Dustin just said something.
What did Dustin say? Now all we need is one of you to laugh so hard that you fart. It's usually when
I'll
Peggy
probably
sneezes.
fart just because I feel like it. It'll be fine.
Self-care is giggle snorting until you burp. Truth. Oh, thank God I've got water so I can hydrate because this is insane. Your eyes are so watery now because you were laughing so hard and then sinuses.
Tears of pain. It's fine.
It is not. Stop. Oh my god. I just heard a noise. Was it the pup?
Yeah, I pulled her over here. She's down between
She's like
us.
right. Yeah.
Sometimes if we're getting too loud, she'll come over and just to cuddle and make sure we're okay.
I love you guys too. Bunny Kisses comes in. Had to miss most of this. Oh my god, what is happening? You shut up at a great time.
Lisa hurt me.
I did not. Stop
Elle and Kay and I think Molly
and Tina. And
there's a rescue mission underway.
Oh my god.
I'll be safe by this evening. It'll be fun.
Even if you guys want to actually know.
Play the Mission Impossible theme song as they extract me from the house.
They said I accidentally smacked Peggy. Well, not so. What's it actually?
No,
I can't even
like
remember
that.
Yeah.
You went
I
like
got
that.
Peggy in the chin, and then the chat is all in an uproar.
She booped me on the chin, but it was more fun to pretend it was more vicious.
She just
than
gave
that.
me crap, and then there was lots of hilarity and chatting.
Lisa says bad things.
I do say bad things. I'm on my way there. Yeah, Barb's actually not too far away.
That's what we should plan this summer is
a local get together,
some sort of a local just for dinner or something. Nothing too because everybody's busy and everybody everybody has the money, but find something to plan.
I totally understand, Bella. It's cool to be quiet and just soak all of this.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Everybody's.
I've lost the thread, but who cares? This is fun and self-care.
There's a few people that stopped in, said hi, pointed out I'm watching but not participating, and then they're just off in the corner somewhere Jen's around. She's been, I forget what you said she was
I'm
busy.
still like phlegmy from laughing so hard.
You're phlegmy.
I'm phlegmy. You know how you get the like
hairball? That kind?
Yeah, something like that.
I think I'll be fine. Everything's on video. 911 is just 3 digits away. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. First we said it, then we did it, right, Christy? First we said it, then we did it. Get it?
Okay. So self-care.
Peggy's gonna always try so hard to get us back on topic. What would we do without you?
Probably.
I'd
be safe. I'd be at a safe distance somewhere else.
It's been a rough month. I know, Bella. I'm so sorry. I know it's hard.
Yeah. But I don't know, like, I mean, the thing is, like, what does okay, there's stereotypical self-care. And the media talks about it.
Social media glorifies it.
Social media talks about it. Experts, and I'm not, okay, I'm not saying that experts don't know what they're talking about, because experts write books on this. But for the people that don't resonate with those things, what works?
Yeah.
Because for me, my ears plugged, and I'm getting.
You've got an eyelash too. You literally lost an eyelash in this video, and your eyes are still watering.
Hit me so hard, eyelashes fell out.
Wow. I was gonna wipe your tears, and now you're cringing on camera, you dick. Jesus. We're not going to stay on topic apparently at all. The topic is self-care. Self-care is not picking on your wife. That's on about camera.
Right. Chuckle fuckery and rescue mission.
Oh my God, Kat! Can you imagine doing timestamps for these chats? 0 to 10 minutes, sensible and wise chat about self-care. 10 minutes onward, chuckle fuckery.
You got her started again. By the way, Lisa has this thing where she laughs too hard. She'll just spontaneously like, and
I'm bawling,
burst into tears.
Oh my God! And then 10 minutes onwards, chuckle fuckery and rescue missions.
You already read that one.
Let me decompress for a sec. Oh my God. Okay. We got everybody
self-care, damn it. It is, honestly. I mean, okay.
Our timing for this is perfect because YouTube is currently reviewing my channel for content worthiness to say 1,000. You're like, whoa, this chick needs to not be a part of our program. Oh.
I come back to Peggy hiding from Lisa's slapping.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
So this is what our live chats are, is just me spazzing out for an hour.
My God. Yeah, see, but okay. So how many just to try. I'll try to be the adult, because apparently it's not Lisa's turn to adult today.
Is it ever my turn to adult?
No, not really. Okay.
How do we even function day to day?
Self-care can be spontaneous chuckle fuckery. How many people? Okay,
how many people are flooded with happy endorphins right now?
We did not do this on purpose, because God knows you saying chuckle fuck on camera was not supposed to happen. But how many people are going to spend the rest of today going chuckle fuck? So sometimes
we made a whole lot of people happy.
Sometimes self-care just happens. It's not something you have to plan for, look for.
It can be, though, and should be.
Well, no, yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be.
No, it
can be spontaneous. Like, okay, yesterday was spontaneously like, well, I always take everybody else out for dinner, and I'm hungry and don't feel like making lunch. Instead of forcing myself to make lunch, I'm going to go across the street and get some McDonald's.
Yeah, just give yourself
I don't do that normally. So it's like,
true.
that was a fun little self-care moment.
Oh, I'm so glad
I'm getting buckled up by chickbumps.
Oh, I'm glad. You know what? It's true that we get flooded with really good endorphins in the body when we have a really good laugh.
Yeah.
It's chemically really, really good for us.
Well, sometimes, yeah. But what I'm saying is sometimes self-care can be found in spontaneous
Look at the poop.
Look at the poop.
Thank you, Lulu.
Thank you.
I keep staring at the
Lulu. Gotta look at the poop. She's got
conspiracy theory. Peggy's getting buckled up. Every time I try to read one of these comments, I just trail off.
I've got a new art project.
Oh, you are seriously gonna? Are you gonna put a poop in a seatbelt? Because I think that's a really great idea. Whose idea was that? Somebody raise your hand, because I know you said it, and I can't remember. We'll be able to watch it back.
I think a bunch of people said it.
Somebody said literally saying "buckle up" on top with a poop with a seatbelt, and then chuck back underneath. The poop is so cute, actually. Yeah, look at the poop.
It's fine. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Anyway, no. Here's the thing. People like you like to plan. People like me like to be spontaneous. So for people like me, it's like, ooh,
people like you resent the hell out of plans. It's not just
I don't resent.
Like, you do. You hate plans.
It depends.
You hate obligation. I think it's more the thing.
No, No,
we're just gonna argue on camera.
We're gonna argue.
Choco fuck anointing oil is coming soon. I'm
just gonna hold her hand down. Look, I'm safe for now as long as she doesn't break out of the grip. It's okay.
Sure. I'm good at escaping. I'm not a brat. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, this is back to my point though, is that self-care has certain stereotypes, but that's not the only thing that equals self-care. And for some people, self-care looks completely different.
Look at the poop. Look at the poop.
I'm trying, Kay. I'm trying. I'm trying to start a serious chat right now.
Look at the poop.
I am looking at the poop.
I
am looking at the poop.
Hey, look at that poop.
You didn't say you're not a poop.
I'm not a poop.
I'm not a poop.
I'm so easy to mess with.
It's because you're funny. Yeah, conspiracy theory confirmed.
Oh boy. I mean,
Shayla's trying to escape. She's like, I want to get away from these people.
My hair is everywhere.
She's our little rag doll. Okay, she just likes to.
I had to check and make sure I didn't look like a total hot mess.
Okay. Nice. Yes. Yeah. Hey, I got a sentence in.
Wait, we talked about.
Oh, wait, I didn't get a sentence in.
You don't get to talk when you're with me. What are you even thinking? We talked about self-care, but we did not.
We tried
a little bit.
And then you
but
happened.
We haven't. What do you mean? Okay, anyways, no, don't answer that. We haven't talked.
Do you know what her other saying is?
Wait. We haven't talked about self-compassion much in the live chat. We talked about self-care. I give up.
There's supposed to be a topic. I have no idea.
We should put a warning message on this particular live chat in the playlist so that people know what they're in for.
Chuckle fuckery. The chuckle fuck chat.
I don't think I can actually. Oh, my face hurts.
Thank God you're not monetizing this channel because you just took away any chance of that happening.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's like, I really want to monetize. I better go back and erase 90% of my content.
Oh.
It's a shitty topic.
I keep having to. Hey, look at the poop. You're not allowed to look at chat anymore.
Here, you look at the poop.
Oh, excuse me. Seriously?
Are you okay? Are you still cuddling? Oh, are you cuddling?
Okay, real. Is this what's happening now on camera? You're just gonna get a face bath. And this is what we're doing now. Hi, Shayla.
Somebody needs to help clean up my salty tears.
Are you having a day? Bite your face.
No, all right. Shayla doesn't.
Block L from channel, right, L?
I'm so sorry. Do I need to hold
you?
You're
true. You're right, Lulu. That's totally true. She's a cat dog. She's a cat dog.
She doesn't know how to purr, so this is what she does.
See? She growls when she gets a massage.
Sounds like a good topic. So we just had some spontaneous self-care today. For anybody who actually enjoys the sense of humor.
Laughter. If you have our sense of humor, if you
welcome
don't,
to the Peggy and Lisa comedy show.
Apparently that's what we do now.
Comedy and self-worth.
Comedy and self-worth. Our ridiculous hour.
Are you okay?
I can breathe again. It's pretty great. I think my face might be returning to its normal color.
Thank you. You're okay.
Compassion is self-compassion is so much more difficult to have. That's very, very true. I find it's really easy for me to blame myself for everything and to beat myself up for everything.
Well, this was your fault.
Thanks, babe.
Karate chopped to the throat.
Are you finished?
No. Not likely.
No,
this is probably gonna be my she thinks she's a toddler. This is probably gonna be my activity for the day.
She's done now.
I know she's done. I'm letting her walk away. Hi, baby. You're okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, compassion for self-care is tangible activities. And I think for a lot of us, tangible stuff is a lot easier than the intangible stuff. Intangible self-compassion is like not beating yourself up, being kind to yourself when you make a mistake, being gentle with yourself, being gentle with your own personal expectations of yourself. All of that stuff is, I think, a lot harder to get in the habit of doing than tangible actions of self-care. Bye, Molly.
I love you too,
Chucklebuck. Oh. Really? This is what we're going to do now, huh? I'm not going to start opening all of my videos with this. Can you imagine? Hello, everybody.
Hey, Chuckle Fox.
This is Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. How are you all? And then using that. Yeah, no.
You're not even gonna. You can't.
I can't because
say it.
No.
You can't say it.
I can't say it on command.
Well, you can.
Well, I could, but okay. Anyways,
say it.
No.
Say it. Say Chuckle Fox.
No. Elle says lots of chuckles and fucks Molly hard. This is what's happening now.
Say it. Say Chuckle Fox.
You two, your faces are just starting to come back to a normal color. I know, and then she starts again.
I didn't start. Molly started it this time.
I guess technically Molly did start.
Everybody gets to have a turn.
Tina says the external work is easier than the internal work. I totally agree.
Oh, it's because we don't. It's totally easy to go, I did this. This is my self-care. I did this. This is it's.
When you hurt somebody's feelings and you self-flagellate, it's harder to like. I actually flagellate.
Okay.
You're just trying to instigate.
There's a similar word.
Oh. I can't think.
You're drawing a blank. Chuckle fucking.
Anyways, when you're beating yourself up, just getting my partner every time. Beating yourself up. Sorry, Kay. Oh.
She's back to red, yeah.
I can't. Oh my god, my face.
Okay, how come other people have cute little names for their people that watch their videos and we have chuckle fuckers?
No, we're gonna come up with something much better. Much better.
I doubt it.
We can do it.
Have you met the people that watch our videos?
But our lives are so much
different. If I say hello, chuckle fuckers, everybody's gonna go, hey Peggy, how you doing? Nobody will be surprised or offended.
Okay, I wouldn't say nobody, because there's always somebody. Oh my god, somebody needs to put me on a timeout for Lisa's breathing. Yes, please, somebody just gag Elle for a minute. I know it's gonna go sideways. I knew it as soon as it was out of my mouth.
Okay.
Oh, Jen, you're right. My abs are gonna hurt so bad.
Chuckle ducks.
Oh, my face actually hurts. Oh, we would not blink an eye if you said that.
See, I said so. I knew it. I'm gonna do that next week.
You are. I know.
It's like, hey, chuckle fuckers.
But the good news is that you're an old lady and have no memory. So there's that. That sounds way worse. That sounds bad. Bad.
That's why she said it.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe that should be
transference. Let's talk about transference.
Well, is it no? Oh no, I'm gonna say I was talking and you interrupt. I hit her now. It was fine.
Nobody's trying to save me.
No, yeah. No, it's not as much fun to save you.
Well, just let me drown. It's fine.
Thank
goodness they're nice to me too sometimes.
One of our topics should be about stereotypes and outward expectations.
Yes.
Because, like I said, professionals write books about this, which the books are valid. The books make sense if these are things that work for you personally. But if these things don't work for you, you're left in the middle of nowhere going, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
And every single one of these experts, part of their expertise is from all agreeing with each other. So
pretty good.
That's chuckle fucking.
It's pretty good. My hair.
Oh, you're not even gonna. She's not even gonna look at the comments.
I had to hide it so that I could make sure my hair wasn't going in 7 different directions. I deliver training courses on stereotypes and generalizations and the effects thereof. Ooh, juicy topic.
There you go. There you go.
That's what we like to call Dustin. We like to call it circle jerk.
I like circles.
How did you make that sound so creepy?
I can make anything sound creepy. You know that.
The books are great, but I hate that they can make you feel like you're doing something wrong if something doesn't resonate with you. That's true. That's true.
And the thing is that because these people become experts by working with each other, so there's a certain
insulated.
It's I don't know if insulated is the right word, but there's a certain similarity to all of the content that you're going to find in these groups, and not very many people are breaking out of that. Like that's kind of what I feel like we're doing is we're saying, look, there is traditional standard stereotypes of
addressing this stuff,
addressing all of this stuff.
Yeah. And
for the people that's not working for, something else needs to happen. But so yeah, like a book will say, take yourself to a movie, except if you're like, if
That's why the book I'm writing is about identifying it for yourself, like identifying for yourself what works.
For somebody like me who is generally an extrovert, going to a movie by myself is not going to feel good.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can do that. I can go to a movie by myself. I can do.
I love that, Marge. Self-care. I bought a scratch-off poster of 100 albums. You listen to the album and scratch it off until all 100 are done. I think that's really cool, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like our different paths. If something works for you, then it works. It doesn't always have to resonate with someone else.
That's right.
One of the things I love about the way that I'm approaching this topic when I'm doing my writing is that I'm approaching.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't. Hold on.
I'm approaching it from the perspective of how to figure this stuff out for yourself. Not here's the one true way, right? Sorry, I just wanted to get that out.
No, I was just say, like, see, Dustin's opposite to me. He loves going alone.
Yeah. Yeah, movies alone can actually be a really neat way to.
But stereotypically, we're not supposed to enjoy going to a movie alone.
Yeah, so it's talking about how stereotypes can actually prevent you from exploring the activities.
Or to feel like or to feel like exploring it is somehow a bad thing.
Yes, true.
And yeah, there's
OL.
OL.
It's always OL.
It's always like OL. She's rescuing me though. Rescuing me.
Oh, Simon, don't oh boy. This is going down a path.
But thing is that we have certain stereotypes that say, so people who are generally social like me do better to find activities and things that involve at least one other person. There's nothing wrong with that. Other people, such as Dustin, I love going to the movies alone. There's nothing wrong with that. And we need to stop taking two things and deciding that one's okay, so therefore by default the other one isn't.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes absolutely no sense. Back in like the 40s and 50s, when people didn't necessarily have TVs in their homes, they would go to the theater to watch the news. They would go to the theater to watch just regular serial programming. They would go because if you wanted to see something, you had to go to a theater. So people went by themselves all the bloody time. I'm going to go to the newsreels are playing at 4. I'm going to go.
Did you ever see any of those newsreels? Are you that old? I'm just wondering. Asking for a friend.
And yet you're the one who hits me.
Woo! Who's Roger? Do I know who Roger is?
Roger Rabbit?
No, is it Roger Rabbit?
No, probably not. It's not likely Roger. The thing is, though, is a lot of things.
Sorry.
We have this tendency to want to decide that one thing automatically has to be better than the other.
Yeah.
Going to the movies alone is not as good as going to the movies with your friends. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no logical sense to it because some people, and going to dinner by yourself, going for a walk by yourself.
I think taking yourself out to dinner is, I think, something that we don't talk about enough, but it can feel like such a really lovely treat to take yourself out. Who here has ever taken themselves out, just themselves, for like a really nice fancy meal? Most of the time we save that for when we're going to be getting together with somebody else, almost like it's a waste to do it for just ourselves, or that we would feel awkward doing it for just ourselves.
Here's the thing. It's generally considered a social activity. So it's better. And this is the thing.
Stereotypically better. You mean.
Yeah, stereotyping. It's considered better. And it makes no logical sense because there are plenty of introverts. There's just as many introverts as extroverts. And we somehow have created this idea that if you're introverted, you should just stay home. And that makes no logical sense.
Rather than spend quality time with yourself doing cool things.
Quality time with yourself doing quality things.
Taking yourself to, like the example earlier, taking yourself to Disney World, or taking yourself to the petting zoo, if that's something you enjoy. Or, there's so many different things that you can do to do things for yourself and with yourself.
There's tons of them, but their societal expectation is that we shouldn't do that because this is considered a social activity, therefore you shouldn't be doing it if you're not in the social kind of a mood. And it's like, I don't, and if I decide that I want to do something, I don't really give a shit what everybody else thinks of it.
But that's a self-worth thing too, because for a lot of us, what stops us from doing this isn't even that society thinks this is a bad thing, as that we're worried we're going to be judged. It's like, if I go to a restaurant by myself, people are going to think I'm stood up, or people are going to think that nobody wants to go with me.
Well, because
we worry too much about what other people will think.
It's a stereotype that we have built up.
Yes.
And this is, and part of what needs to happen is breaking down these stereotypes. And it makes no logical sense that it makes no logical sense that you're not allowed to enjoy a certain activity unless you're in this situation. And yes, I'm a more extroverted person. I enjoy going out to dinner with other people. I'm not necessarily the go by myself type, but I know people who are the go by myself type who don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Barb. There's absolutely no reason. There's absolutely no reason why you can't. And yet, but this is something that this is something that doesn't get talked about. It doesn't get addressed in the books. It doesn't get addressed in the self-help because they don't know how to, not they, but there's a certain lack, there's a certain thing of, I don't know how to address this, or there's a certain giving into the stereotype. Oh, well, these are social activities. So if you're not a social person, you should find solitary activities. It's like, I don't want to go mountain climbing.
Well, I don't even think it's that, I don't said so directly. It's more that it's implied by the lack of talking about it, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Jen says, I'm learning to be brave enough to do more things on my own, hence soon to be planning a solo trip to the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dustin, a lot of waiters give you shitty service when you're alone too, because they know their tip will be low because it's for one person, not 3+. That's a really good point.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that you're not responding. It's like, oh, so there, I may not, but if you don't get as good of a service, then you just don't go back to that restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not your problem. It's not your fault. It's not your situation to resolve. You're just there for you.
Yeah.
And you have every right to do it. And if other people don't like it, then other people can go chuckle fuck right off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true though.
But no, it's, but like I said, like there's a certain sameness. Yeah, it's a universal cultural norm. Oh, I'll tell you right now, Lisa and I, there's a few semi-decent restaurants around here that Lisa and I like to go to. And they're like quite a young, the one is quite a bit of a younger crowd. We like the food. People go for the food, stay for a few drinks, and they're young people. They tip big, whatever. We walk in and it's like, we just stop going because it's like, now this is Vancouver. We have over 2,000 restaurants to choose from. We're really fortunate that we can cherry pick where we want to go. But there were some of these restaurants like, oh, the food here is really good. Let's go to this restaurant.
But if you weren't ordering a drink?
The minute you said you weren't ordering booze, their entire attitude toward you changed. And it's like,
yeah,
wow, they suck. Food's great, so we'll find a different restaurant with just as good of food.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
No, it's picking these really, really, really obvious examples though. It makes it difficult because for a lot of like I tend to be an extroverted person, but some of the healthiest self-care things I can do are things that I'm doing by myself.
Yeah.
So it's not, you gotta find the balance, and it's really hard because if you look outward, if you look outside of yourself to what society and the experts and media is saying, you're supposed to be doing these things to get your self-care, and everything else is either wrong or you're selfish. And it's like, but even being selfish once in a while is self-care.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, again, if we define selfish as putting your own wants above other people's needs, that's different.
Okay. We just bought you a thing of bagels because you wanted the everything bagels.
We're really going to go here with the bagels.
No, okay. The bagels went bad and had to be thrown out. So
still a little bit.
It might not be the nice.
I don't go through bread products as quickly.
Okay, stop. But there's no. Like, why are you explaining?
Because
you don't need to explain. You wanted everything bagels, even though Steva and I don't like them. That was a selfish act, and we agreed to it. Nobody had an issue with that. This was because you.
I ate one everything bagel.
Okay, but
before they went moldy.
But we also had other stuff coming up. Here's the thing. Okay. But here's the thing. So cave collab.
They're talking about Jen going to the UK.
Ah, okay, yeah. Anyway, so the thing is, okay, so you're like, I really want these bagels, and Stephen and I are in the store because Stephen was with us that day, and we said, well, just so you know, we don't like them and won't eat them. It's going to be all on you to get these eaten up. And you're like, I don't care. I want them anyway. Of course you were being a little bit selfish because we give so fucking much power to the word selfish that the minute we hear it, we feel like we have to back down from every little thing. What is wrong?
I'm hating this example right now.
Okay,
I'm hating it because
I don't care why. Okay, this is why I'm loving the example. So you gotta let me finish first, okay? We hear the word selfish. And it's like, oh, selfish is like this horrible, horrible, disgusting thing that nobody's allowed to be. And it's like, of course you're allowed to be selfish. But you have to be intelligent about it. And you were. Steven and I don't like these, so they're probably not going to get eaten. But we don't care because bagels aren't that expensive, and you should have the right to pick something that you want. So, but we want to but just to keep in mind that either you're going to have to commit to eating these until they're gone, or freeze some, or whatever, right? It was a perfectly legitimate norm. Yeah, well, we forgot to put them in the freezer is what.
To be fair,
stop. This is the thing. You have no reason to defend. You have no reason or obligation or need to defend yourself.
What was the other pack of bagels?
The other pack of bagels was jalapeno cheddar, and they got eaten up. Stop, though. You're defending yourself. This is the thing. This is happening live on camera, folks. Okay. So Lisa was Lisa a little bit selfish in wanting something, knowing that we didn't like it? Of course. We wanted the jalapeno cheddar, knowing that she might not like it.
Thank you.
But we ate them. Stop. But we ate them. She didn't. We meant to put half of them in the freezer, and we just spaced it. It didn't happen. Go to get a bagel this morning. I was like, oh geez, it's too late. They're all throw the other.
5 or the 6.
It was a 6-pack. She ate one. But here's the thing. I want the chocolate fucking bagel. But this is the thing. This is the thing. But when you apply the word selfish or greedy or whatever, of course it was. If you want a pack of cookies, you're being a little selfish and a little greedy, because in theory, nobody on this planet needs.
I guess that's a good point. Fine.
Nobody.
I'll concede the point.
We want cookies, but nobody actually needs cookies, right? So the thing is, it is. But now Lisa threw these and look, and did you see her response? Oh, we're gonna go there. It's like she's trying to be good natured about it, but she feels guilty because she was a little selfish. She was a little greedy.
Wasted.
But we don't care. we made a mistake and forgot to put them in the freezer.
Forgetting, yeah.
That's fine. That happens.
But that should have been my responsibility to put them in the freezer.
Why?
Because
why? Why do you, okay. How much does it cost for a pack of bagels?
Like $2.
$2. Now, throwing food away is a little wasteful, but then again, we've had other things go bad, like water gets.
I just figured it out.
Okay,
you know how much it costs to get a bagel at Starbucks with cream cheese? Pay about $3.
Okay, so
value wise,
no. But you didn't. Okay,
so the thing is, math to get me out of this predicament.
You're not asking for a new car that we can't afford.
True.
You're making an intelligent, rational decision that happens to be a little selfish.
I still find this really uncomfortable.
Over something that we can, and like I said, it's unfortunate that we had to throw away food, but it was food that we could financially afford to throw away. So you made a slightly selfish, slightly greedy decision to get something that you wanted. Mistakes happened because it was just a little bit of a mix-up that we didn't realize they hadn't been put in the freezer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, I thought we got to that. Oh, well. But here's the thing. What was wrong? Yeah, person who just arrived. Yes, self-love bagels. But this is the thing. It's like you can make an intelligent, rational decision. If you are saying, I want a new car because blah, it's like, okay, that's...
I'm thinking,
there's unsustainable selfishness. There's unsustainable selfishness, and then there's reasonable, healthy selfishness. You wanted some bagels. It was reasonable, healthy, not healthy choice for food, like healthy self-care, a healthy self-care choice.
I know what you mean.
No, self-care.
Yeah.
You were really in the mood for everything. It's like, oh, I really want bagels, but this is the kind I want.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I say healthy, I mean emotionally healthy. Well, I have to move into
a little bit
within striking range.
Within striking range? She didn't even blink. She's like, oh, within striking range.
Yeah, every 28 days,
under control.
Every 28 days, I need sweets. The other days are just a plus. Right. But the thing is, if something is
Elle Newman title Peggy dragging Lisa about bagels for 5. But
here's the
mostly
thing.
I was just pissed off. You wanted the damn raisin ones or the cheddar jalapeno ones. I'm like,
But here's the thing, and the reason why I'm making it about bagels, because there's really, really obvious tie-ins with self-care and selfishness, and it's okay to be a little selfish about your self-care because you have to imply a $2 bag of bagels is different than saying, I want to hop on the ferry and go to the island for the weekend and spend $1,000.
Yeah, it's like making it reasonable. Now, if your lifestyle allows for that to be reasonable,
Obviously.
that's different. But yeah,
it's okay to be a little
I didn't realize Dustin had chickens either. You have 17 chickens, Dustin?
Chickens? Well, I love chicken. They're tasty. What?
I was gonna say I like eggs. I like eggs, honey. Eggs.
Yes, dear.
Peggy's just like a murderer.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's
the message. It's okay to be selfish about your bagels, guys.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Sometimes
Elle gets the point. I was a little slower for me.
Sometimes
it was a little slower. Vegan's in the room. Well, I know. I'm sorry for my wife. She's
sorry, New Age.
She's a murder hobo in real life.
A murder hobo.
This is why Peggy and I can't have livestock ever, because she's like, hey, do you want to have chickens? And I'm like, yeah, as long as you don't want to ever kill them or eat them.
I would never kill them or eat them. I would eat the eggs, though.
I love fresh eggs.
But again, see, vegan in the room.
Oh, well, I
forgot
what vegan meant for a second, okay?
It was like, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, we've had our moment. We will move on.
Christine, come see me on the island. We've got a couple friends on the island now.
We have several.
We should go out to the island one time.
We should do some. Should do some get together thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, thing is that we have to imply logic, common sense, and reason so that we don't make decisions that are selfish in ways that are damaging. And generally, I mean, the most obvious way that it's damaging is being selfish about things that you can't even afford in the first place. That's something that requires,
or being like, I really need these bagels, even though it's our last $2 and we really need milk for the household.
So okay, but
like, but it's relevant, is what I'm saying.
It's relevant.
Or I mean, relative. Relative was the word I was looking for. We used to have a hobby farm with cows and chickens, and I made a rule that if we name them, you can't eat them. Vegetarian.
Oh, honestly, I'll tell you. I mean, yeah. If I had to deal with the entire process from beginning to end myself, I don't think I would be. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is that we hear the word selfish, and we are taught that selfishness is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And it's like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a little selfish.
I actually really appreciate that you bring this up, because it's really triggering in a way. And I'm using that word on purpose for a reason. But
for some people, it's a very triggering concept. That
for us, it was because
I can't do that. It's selfish.
Well,
it's
for
like,
us,
I don't give a shit. You know,
growing up, the word selfish was literally weaponized.
It was weaponized.
So it's a very difficult word for me to swallow, which is why it's so hard for me to not want to explain, justify, defend. Anytime anything comes up that even implies there's selfishness involved, because it's like, no, that's like the worst word ever. And that's what I was taught growing up. So it's tricky to say, oh yeah, you're allowed to be a little bit selfish, like that's okay. And everybody should be and is a little selfish at times. And that's all right is kind of still, it's almost hard for me to say it out loud. Actually, it feels like
it's really, yeah. And the thing is that,
although bagel selfishness on the other hand, not allowed. Now, if it's cake, I wouldn't feel the need to defend it. I'd be like, I want a cake, damn it.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
And that's selfish. Who logically because definitely a weapon growing up. And this is the thing, is that you shouldn't do that yourself. I mean, you have to teach kids not to be selfish, because the obviously the human nature is, I want this, therefore I'm going to take it all. And we have to teach kids to socially interact with each other, but you have to teach kids not to be selfish. But teaching your child that every single thing that they might want is selfish,
and that's what our growing up was like. It was like,
and
if
that's
you were doing anything for yourself, it was automatically selfish if it wasn't centering the person in the household that needed to be centered at all times. Well, and that's where it's different, you know.
Well, and here's the thing though, is that some people with
excellent.
We have people with problematic families and problematic backgrounds. We also have people with Brady Bunch upbringings who still have a questionable relationship with the concept of selfishness, just because when your parents are teaching you that being too selfish is about, like, you know, if you have four cookies and you're sitting in a room with your best friend, you should give them 2, because if you keep all 4 and give your friend nothing, that's selfish. Sharing is generous. And that's fine. But if your kid gets the wrong idea and you don't notice, and your kid thinks, I have to give away all 4 cookies or I'm just being selfish.
That's a great example.
It's like,
that's a great example.
Sometimes kids end up with the wrong messaging from you as a parent in spite of your best intentions, even if you are otherwise an amazingly good parent. So it's a balancing act. And sometimes you have to learn these things as adults because something was missing, something was, and yeah, you can mean well as a parent, still fuck it up with your kids.
Absolutely. We all fuck up our kids. Like, yeah, it's kind of what you do.
Yeah,
but Tina mentioned something, and I want to kind of address this. So selfishness only becomes a bad thing when it harms someone else. True. Also, though, and this is like where it gets really muddy and weird, sometimes self-care means you literally put your needs before what somebody else thinks they need. This is where it gets kind of tricky because we've talked about how selfishness is putting your wants before other people's needs, but we haven't talked about what happens when your needs and somebody else's needs are different. And here, a perfect example, and this was a little bit tricky for me to talk about, but like sometimes if something's going to put you in an unhealthy situation, even if other people perceive that they need you in that situation, because of boundaries and because of what's good for you and what's right for you, you may need to put your needs before somebody else's needs to keep yourself emotionally safe or physically safe. So sometimes you like I've had to make decisions that feel like, yeah, somebody else might get hurt either emotionally, well, not physically, I guess, but somebody else might get hurt emotionally if I make this decision to take care of myself. And did you actually just do what I think you did? Somebody else might get hurt if I make a decision to take... You're such an asshole. What the... It's fine. Go ahead. You guys know what I'm saying, right? Like, sometimes you might have to protect yourself or withdraw from a situation.
Sometimes you'll be in a situation where
it might hurt somebody else's feelings when you do that.
Sometimes you're in a situation where you know that what you're going to do or say or whatever is perceived as being selfish. Sometimes it may actually be selfish.
But sometimes conscious selfishness is the right choice.
You don't want to harm the other. You don't want your decisions to harm other people. But sometimes there really isn't a choice. Mm-hmm. And if the choice is
Tina, exactly.
Recognize your own boundaries and protect yourself.
Like I used an example in a previous chat. Actually, last week's chat, I used the example about going to hospitals. Hospitals can be really tricky places for me for a whole lot of really complicated reasons. If I choose to not go visit a friend in a hospital, that's very likely going to hurt their feelings. And sometimes it's a choice I have to make anyways. It's not the choice I'll make every single time. But depending on how I'm doing, how it could affect how long I spend. It could affect me even just even just thinking about going could be a thing that I don't even think about.
Well, and then you show up so worked up, stressed out that it's not.
Then I'm also harming.
It's not a beneficial thing. It's not a beneficial thing for either of you.
Sometimes I've made that decision consciously, and sometimes I've just not even let myself think about it, like been really avoidant. And there are other people that get impacted by that, but sometimes that's what I've had to do. So, and had to is maybe a little bit of letting myself off the hook. It's what I've chosen to do to keep myself sort of emotionally.
Well, and here's the thing. Sometimes somebody is hurt because what you've done is hurtful. Sometimes somebody is hurt because they just simply can't handle it.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And it's like, if you're being hurt because you can't handle it, I don't necessarily have the same level of responsibility to mitigate your limitations.
That's very true. And there's also this piece here about theoretically you want people who know you.
Yes, you can't stay in a relationship for the sake of the other person.
Real quick, sorry, before we go down that rabbit hole, I was just going to say, something that happens, I find, is that people feel like, okay, well, if somebody really loves me, they'll understand and they'll forgive me. At the end of the day, that's not really their responsibility either. It's kind of like if you were in the hospital, obviously I would make it work, right?
Better.
Yeah, I would definitely make it work.
I'd see you once or twice.
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, basically, I'm kind of all or nothing.
No, when I had my kidney stone, I don't think you would have let me go anywhere near a hospital by myself.
No. So the thing is,
I can walk.
My problem is,
oh my God, this thing hurts.
My problem is once I'm there, I'm all there. So it's like it's kind of an all or nothing almost kind of thing. But the point, I guess, it's convoluted.
It's not so simple.
Yeah, and the only point I really wanted to make is that it's also not the other person's responsibility to automatically understand and be okay with it. It's just that sometimes you have to make those decisions, which we talked about last week. So staying with people for somebody else, I totally wanted to.
If I make the decision that I really need the car today, even though you not having the car is going to cost you your job, that's an extremist of selfish.
Correct. Yeah.
But if it's like, well, I really need the car today. I know that you're going to have to take the bus, but I've got a lot to get done, and if I don't have the car, it's like that's going to hurt you because you're used to having the car and not having to take a bus. But I can't be responsible for that.
And I do want to talk about Kat's example. The extreme example of this is breakups. You can't stay in a relationship for the sake of the other person.
Oh, yeah.
in it only, that feels obvious, but other things can be harder to call.
It's, you know what? Yeah. It's always a judgment. It's always a judgment call. And I mean,
I had this problem with my last relationship.
Well, see,
like if you think about it, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I felt there was a certain amount of emotional and tangible caretaking that I did, and there was a real fear that if I moved on, that person wouldn't be able to care for themselves. So sometimes it makes it more complicated to put yourself first in that situation. And at a certain point, I had to go, this isn't healthy for either of us, and I need to make this decision regardless. But that was the hardest thing I ever. Fine. Yeah, she ended up being fine, but I didn't know that. There was no guarantee, and that was really, really tough. But that wasn't selfish. It was not selfish. It felt selfish at the time, even though I logically knew better, and I knew that I was making a healthy decision. It felt very selfish because I knew there was possible ramifications for that other person. Yeah. And so even though, these things get complicated when you're trying to hash out. And okay, it's one thing to make it about bagels, because making it about bagels has a really tangible push and pull. Mm-hmm. And this is the thing, is that, and that's true, Tina. Sometimes they're hurt because of their expectations. That's true. Right. And the thing is that the more complicated and sometimes Bruno can't deal with your hand moving and not petting him. Come here. Bagels again. Sometimes selfishness is a necessary self-preservation tactic. Sometimes, and if it's like, oh, look at that Bruno face. I just had to look at the screen so I could see his face on camera. He's so cute. If it's like I'm gonna go buy bagels, and it's like, but we need this and this, or everybody else goes hungry, and you're like, well, fuck that. That's selfish. Yeah, that's an obvious, tangible level. There's degrees. It's a spectrum, like everything else. There's degrees, and it's a spectrum. But the reality is that we should not be so afraid of being. Hi, baby. We should not be so. We should not live our lives being so terrified of being thought of as selfish that we refuse to do anything for ourselves at all. Stop petting him. Stop petting him. He does cute things when you stop him. Look. Hi, baby. So cute. I know, I'm so distracted by that precious Bruno face. He is my precious little puppy. It's so great that he can see. Yeah. His eyes are so good now, by the way, you guys. Oh, yeah, he can. For those of you that followed that journey, Bruno's diabetic and then went blind within the first few months of his diagnosis, and we got him cataract surgery, so he has all new lenses, and now he can see again, and it's amazing. He can catch things when you throw them in the air now. My heart, I know he does this. He does the double wave. Yes. Well, isn't that the opposite of not being selfish? Is to, I'm going to prove I'm not being selfish by doing something at my own emotional, psychological, physical expense. And that's martyrdom. This sort of self-martyrdom that we do to feel worthy is actually a really common problem. Just ignore him and he'll do it. There we go. So I was really driven by guilt for a long time. I was definitely throwing myself on the sword all the time for everybody. And oh my God. Yeah. It was to the point where that's the only thing that felt normal, because I did it so much that I was like, oh, this is what normal is. And it actually felt really uncomfortable. Yeah. And for the first very long time to do anything that even remotely put myself first. That's why you start with baby steps. That's why you look for those. Which is one of the other topics we're going to do pretty soon. Did you buckle up? Yep, exactly. Oh damn. Yeah. Oh, boy. It's never going to go in. Well, we've graduated from poops and farts to chuckle fuckery. Yeah. It's only going to get worse from here, you guys. So if you're here and you're sticking around, the thing is if you want to do something, if you like, I will feel really good about myself if I do this. And then on the balcony, he just wants to cuddle. Just let him be. But it's like, okay, I really, really want to do the thing. If you feel yourself going, oh, that would be selfish, ask yourself just how freaking selfish it really is. Because, oh, it's going to cost me $10. That's selfish. It's like, can you afford the $10? Oh, I won't be able to go to that meeting tonight. Because, and I've got a tangible example. That's selfish. Peggy getting her new sewing machine. Oh my God. Well, but that wasn't really I didn't feel selfish though. Okay, you might not have felt selfish, but you certainly acted as if you did. Because Peggy she's the type of person that it's really, really hard to convince her that it's worth spending money on herself. Oh, yeah. She can't see the immediate tangible benefit to the people around her. She's like, she suddenly not shuts down, but she definitely slows, she puts the brakes on hard, and it's like, well, I don't really need it. I could do this and I could do that. I'm like, yeah, but do you want it? Well, but I don't need it. And we could be spending that money on this or that or this or that or this or that. And it's really,
He wants to be on my lap, and he's not getting comfortable, so he's not. He's continuing. He's wiggling, yeah, like crazy.
Now it's nap time. Now he's like, okay,
there you go. Put your head down. You're fine.
Oh, he wants to. Anyways, it took actually probably several weeks for me to convince Peggy that it was worthwhile to spend the money on the sewing machine.
Okay,
do you know what actually tipped her over the edge? I'm like, do you know how much money I've spent on tarot decks? And then she's like, you're right. Okay, convinced. Because I buy stuff for myself all the time, but
that's a little bit less tangible. That's a little bit less tangible than something like, I don't know. I mean,
less tangible than what? What's more tangible than the sewing machine that you're using to fulfill your hobby? That it's no different. Like,
fine.
See, like, hi, Brienne. Welcome.
Well, the thing is, though, but also though, I mean,
he's
part of the conversation though was, am I just being greedy, and is this worth the expense? And that is where you do your self checkup on whether or not you're just being greedy and selfish, or whether or not it makes a lot of sense. And
Bruno's being such a camera hog. Look at him.
Oh,
yeah. Like, hi, look at me.
He's just, he doesn't know there's a camera there. But I don't know, like I said, for me,
at least they're gonna have more bags, right, Lulu? I mean, I was like, hey, I benefit from this too.
But the thing is,
all that beautiful embroidery, though.
But that's not. I mean, that's a little bit different. Like, it'd be like for me, okay, like if I decide that I want a new car, we've been talking about that lately as to whether or not we want to get a second car, right?
You can't go this way, buddy. You got to go around. He's gonna knock over the camera. Oh my God!
Hit things.
I just opened the balcony door.
Okay. Here's a better one. We've been talking about whether or not to get a second car, because don't forget, I work from home. I don't have an actual need for a car during the day. So is that being selfish? And of course you answer those questions first.
Yeah. It's like, does this make sense?
Does this make sense?
I told her, like, I work 5 minutes from home. So I said, hey, we should start getting in the habit of me just dropping off the car. She's like, yeah, but I don't know if I'd use it. And I'm like, that's not the point. Yeah. Like, what you want is to feel more freedom in your lifestyle.
But here's the thing, is that we've had the logical back and forth to make sure that this is something that happens. So now, yes, I am into tarot. Not the same way Lisa is. But
she's not an obsessed psycho about it.
I'm not an obsessed. I don't collect. And I don't collect, and I don't read for the public.
But she did actually scoop up. I picked up the Accurate as Fuck
tarot.
No, Accurate AF tarot, the round one, and she liked that one.
Yeah,
so
she's got that.
So she's got a couple decks, like 2.
Yeah,
maybe 3.
I was actually looking.
Barb. Yes, please. I think I just drooled.
I've actually hit on the idea that maybe I might do really well with a scooter or an e-bike, because I don't have the need to go very far.
I want it to be big enough that I can get on the back of it.
Yeah, only decks.
Oh my God, I need myself a leather dike.
Don't
get it done.
I thought you said dike.
I did. I said leather dike.
Oh, leather dike. Okay, you're fine.
Elle.
Don't forget, Elle.
It's getting better and better.
Don't forget, Elle, that if I'm in the mood to work with a different deck, I can just go in the bedroom and say, pick a bag, any bag.
Yeah, Elle, only 2 decks.
Danks?
Yeah,
Jesus, you're starting again.
Only 2 decks.
Starting again.
Relate. I would love to live somewhere. I want a Vespa so bad. Mine would be pink with Hello Kitty.
We can have all of that.
I saw one of those in Vancouver, took a picture. Somebody had a pink Vespa with Hello Kitty all over it. That would be my Vespa. And hers would be all like flames and
I would just have a plain basic.
You wouldn't want to spend the money on the paint job, but I would get her a paint job.
I would just want to go from point A to point. No, I would not get a paint job on a Vespa.
I would get you a paint job on a Vespa.
Oh, you would not.
And then I'd dress you in leather.
On a Vespa.
You know, hey, if it's, I'll take it any way I can get it, okay?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Peggy in leather. Oh, thanks for that visual.
Sheila just found a plate.
Oh, Peggy decided she wanted more breakfast. Dog's walking around with a plate, and I'm like, Peggy decided she wanted more breakfast. I meant Shayla decided she wanted more breakfast.
So selfishness.
You can still wear leather on a Vespa. Thank you.
Okay, we're not going to go back to that. We're going to get
black leather. Vespa with metal studs. This is great. I am loving this.
I look good in leather. I know that.
She does look good in leather.
I think, but now I'm just old and fat. I'm not sure that I would look as
still
good.
Hot in leather.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need. We know, Kat.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm wearing leather, walking the dogs.
That's hot too.
Unicorn.
What? It is. What? Sorry.
She was so.
Christy's just up in the ante.
She would if she could. Anyway.
Unicorn Vespa might be better than a Hello Kitty Vespa.
So the thing is, though, is like you always, We already live our lives going, is that just selfish? Is that just selfish? Because we're taught that selfishness is a bad thing. So don't be afraid. Is that just selfish? It's like, okay, but is this a reasonable, affordable type of selfishness that's going to make me feel good and not bring harm to anyone?
Okay.
So anyway, let me see what we're doing here. Oh yeah, they both have the sneezes. Hey, they're looking for food. Shayla will hide her plate when she's done eating, and then when she's hungry, she'll go get it and throw it at us. You're minding your own business. Suddenly a plate's bouncing off your leg. Sit. Oh, she wanted to get the treats for the dogs because they're hungry and they're going to start barking in a minute. Yeah, the puppy cat. The puppy cat likes to run around the house with a plate.
Well, she doesn't want her actual food, so she can deal.
She wants cheese.
Don't say that word.
She's a cheese whore. It's bad. You show her a piece of cheese and she's like,
I'm coming back.
She's coming back. She's coming back.
Mind you, it is 12:30, so we should probably wrap up soon.
It's 12:30, guys. 12:30 our time. Anyway,
chuckle fucking.
Okay, so there's one of your challenges. Next time you notice something and you're feeling totally selfish about it, but because everybody has to. If it's like you're walking past, obviously for me I love chocolate, so it's always going to be about chocolate for me.
Did the camera get closer?
I don't think so.
Did you move the camera?
No, I didn't touch anything.
It totally looks different now.
I was talking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be sorry, chocolate fuck.
Love you.
Buckle up then. No, but it's like, okay, you're doing something and you see a cupcake at the grocery store. You see a really interesting looking pen at the bookstore. Oh, that's just selfish. Ask yourself, can I socially, emotionally, and financially afford to be selfish over this thing?
It's a really good idea. Yeah.
If you can tick off yes to all three things, and it's not gonna harm something like
all the unicorn Vespa talk just totally distracted me. Carry on. I'm having a love fest right now.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. But okay, so your challenge is if you can socially, financially, and emotionally afford to be selfish. Exactly.
Can I afford to be selfish over this new tarot deck? Always. Peggy and I just had
but that's something you're collecting. Think of something but it's like if you're telling yourself this is selfish and I shouldn't do it, ask yourself why the fuck not? Why? Okay, and like I said, for me it's chocolate, but it might be a new pen, it might be a little gadget.
I think it's cookies. Like you used to be like, what's my fair share of the cookies? Now you're like, fuck it, if I eat the whole pack, I eat the whole pack.
Well, I don't. But is this something that people?
Ow.
If it's something that you've been stereotypically told is a selfish thing to do, and you go, well, this is selfish, and it's like if it doesn't not most. Sometimes it's selfish in ways that aren't going to do you any good. Like oh, I went out and bought a new sports car. It's like unless you've got $40,000 in the bank, that's a little much. But give yourself permission to indulge in a small act of selfishness.
I think it could be very empowering to just think to yourself, is this selfish? Yes. Can I do it anyways? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really empowering to actually associate. You guys, this is getting so bad in here. I love it a little bit.
You do.
I do a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm kind of liking the glitter out the exhaust of my unicorn Vespa.
There you go.
Can we make that happen? That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. Yeah. So consciously being selfish, good idea. I like it a lot. Yes. I feel like actually saying to yourself, again, is this selfish? Yes, and doing it anyways would be really healthy for those of us where the word selfish was weaponized or was used against us really a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, because
we do not. There. So now we know what Elle's going to be doing.
Yes. Simon says, ask ourselves, selfish by whose barometer?
You know what? Even if it's selfish by your own barometer, it's like, okay, but if I indulge in this small act of selfishness, will I feel good? Will it harm anyone? Can I afford it? And you don't have to say yes to every small act of selfishness, but you have to recognize that there are small acts, there are small things that are definitely selfish, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Bruno is sitting on the floor staring at Peggy
Yeah, buying Peggy
Slowly.
a unicorn. Yeah, okay. If unicorn,
No, buy Lisa a unicorn.
if
Vespa.
unicorn
buy
Vespa's,
Lisa a unicorn Vespa. Buy Lisa a unicorn Vespa. Lisa needs the unicorn Vespa. Peggy needs the matte
and
black
I can
Vespa.
have the car to haul the dogs. Hi.
Bruno's
He
like
wants to go
literally
now.
staring at Peggy, growling and whimpering because he wants to go out to the you know what, the SIDE, the PARK. He literally, I think he can spell. Look at his face. He's like, you just said a thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing, Jen, is that so many of us we've got this internal barometer that says that if that's selfish, we shouldn't do it. And it's like,
Bruno, relax.
of course we should. We should be aware of whether or not this is a harmful or a harmless act of selfishness. And as long as this is a harmless act of selfishness that isn't going to hurt anybody, and come here, baby.
He can't deal. Oh, bumping the camera.
Earthquake.
Bruno sounds like my stomach. Yeah, we should actually let everybody go.
Yeah,
so
we should let everybody
have their
go.
dinner or their lunch.
Small act of
We should have some
selfishness.
lunch.
Buy yourself that weird looking pen. Buy yourself the cupcake.
Or just do something. It doesn't have to be a money
Yeah,
thing,
I'm
but
sorry. Yeah, for me, it's usually spending money on things because I'm generally very careful with my money. So, but yeah, like pick a flower.
Just not from somebody else's yard. That's rude.
Yeah. You know, pop the top off of a dandelion. It's like
Open that bottle of wine that you normally save for company.
Well, this is a $400 bottle of wine. That might be different. But yeah, like I mean,
just got dog hair in my mouth because I kissed him.
Yeah, he's shedding right now. But yeah, like I mean, everybody has their own barometer on what is and isn't selfish. But I'm covered in dog hair right now.
He's like a dog hair magnet.
It's spring shedding time. But yeah, like I mean, you know, I don't know. Like I mean, everybody has their own. Pop the top of that chuckers fuckery. Yeah, but like.
Blackberry vodka. Oh, that sounds delicious. See, that's a perfect thing. It's like, oh, I should save this for something special. It's selfish to use it for just me. It's like, Well,
okay, it's like the bagels. It's like you only ate one, and by a series of misadventures, the rest went into the garbage. But we could afford it. No one was harmed. It was inconvenient that we threw them. It was inconvenient that we ended up having to throw them away because we could have put them in the freezer. That was a mistake. But the reality is that like, yeah, my new safety word is bagel. But the thing is,
mine is chuckle fuck.
Like look at the ice. Look at the ice wine that you opened up. You opened up some ice wine that I got at Christmas for you. And I was like, I don't know if it's still going to be good. I don't know how ice wine tastes the very next day, so I don't know what I don't think I'm going to open it yet. It's like it's not selfish to go ahead and open it because you knew what the price point was and that it was affordable.
Yeah.
And again, for me, for me, a lot of it comes to the cost of things. I don't want to spend a lot. I mean, that's kind of. If I want to go for a walk, I go for a walk. If I want to pick a flower, I pick a flower. So, but is it selfish for me to decide I'm not going to do any sewing today and I'm just going to spend the day hanging out at the park? It's like that's not selfish, even if you want something.
That's true.
It's like, honey,
I have another good example.
but honey, I asked you to do this. It's like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not selfish.
I have a show I watch. It's a soap opera.
Or it is selfish, but it's harmless.
I have a soap opera I like to watch that semi-annoys Peggy.
It annoys the crap out of me.
But, so is it selfish to watch it where she has to listen to it? Yeah. Do I do it anyway?
Yeah. I can leave the room.
Exactly.
I'm a grown-up.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the time.
And she actually gets sucked in now and sometimes looks up spoilers. It's kind of funny.
Oh, it's a really retarded show. Young and the Restless.
It's a problematic show. It's probably a better word there, babe.
Well, they glorify problematic. They glorify problematic behavior.
Yes, I know.
Anyways,
it's my trashy TV. I like it. I like it a lot.
But
Young and the Restless. Watching it for a very, 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 very.
But it's like it's like the Simpsons. When the Simpsons first came out, The Simpsons first came out as a shining example of what not to do, and now The Simpsons is like this is shit that people do. It'd be funny if I did what Homer did. It's like no, that's.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
One of the few.
Still going. There's only a couple left over here. I don't
think. Does Days of Our Lives still go? I think
it's still on.
I never watched anything but Y&R because my mom watched Y&R, but
they're all the same.
I think for me it was comfort because I always knew you could with a soap opera you can like not watch
Some
for
of these
like
guys
6
have
months
married
and
like
then
9 or 10 times.
You can not watch for 6 months or a year or 3 years and then you can just turn it back on and go, oh, it's that character.
Ooh, and I'm glad you like the Mimi.
Oh, that's nice. Yay! We should wrap this up.
I think As the World Turns ended a while ago, a couple years ago.
We've been on for almost 2 hours.
Oh my God, guys, this has been gone.
So we should go.
I was wondering why my throat hurts. I thought it was from the karate chop earlier, but I guess it's just been talking.
What?
So
You're just not going to let it go now, are
you?
Wow.
Not even.
Oh, I want to watch A Discovery of Witches. Where is that on? Because we don't have cable. We just stream stuff. So is it on a network or something?
I'll tell you right now, if you ever want to start feeling good about yourself, stop watching standard cable and all of their commercials about what you need to do to be better. Hi, puppy.
Okay, we better wrap this
our little scene stealer here would like to go O-U-T. We can't even say the word out loud because he knows certain keywords now.
Oh, Hulu.
They both do.
Oh, we don't really have. I think Hulu's just coming to Canada, and I think it's really limited. But
yeah,
I don't think it's in Canada yet. Shudder. What's Shudder? Shudder. Is that that must be a Canadian service, right?
As soon as I say it's time, it goes like, I'm gonna start yawning now.
Yeah, we better get these guys O-U-T.
You want to hear Shayla bark her head off?
No, don't do it. She'll be obnoxious as soon as we turn it.
If we say the word P-A-R-K out loud.
Or C-A-R-R-I-D-E. I will look that up.
Spell things, and they're starting to figure out what some of those things mean.
Make sure the next karate chop is filmed. Stay safe, Peggy. Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Misty, for joining us.
Thank you, Elle. That's self-care.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, I hope all you Choco Fox have a great rest of your day. Or evening.
Stop yourself,
wherever you might be, and we will see you all again.
Share this video, make it go viral, because that would be really funny.
And don't forget to thumbs up on your way out if you haven't yet.
Thumbs up, or
Thank
Elle
you
will
guys
find you.
so much. Have a good rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you
guys.
again soon. Bye.
Okay. Oh, he's just panting now. He knows we're done.